Last time I asked, true or false, there exists a Pokemon with no weaknesses. The answer is true-ish. Back in the release of the third generation with Sableye, its combination of Dark Ghost gave it literally no weakness. Then in the fourth generation, Spiritomb, who is Ghost Dark typing, which is basically the same thing, also had no weakness. Then in the sixth generation, Fairy types were introduced and giving Darks another weakness, one that the Ghost type doesn't cover, finally giving these two a weakness. However, if we take into account abilities, Tynamo, Electric, and Electros, with their Levitate ability, gives them an immunity to ground types, which being a pure electric type makes them immune to the only type that they have a weakness to. So like I said, the answer is true-ish. Now on with today's episode. Professor Pokemon with everything you ever wanted to know about Pidgeot. Pidgeot, the bird Pokemon, is number 18 in the Kanto Dex, number 12 in the Johto Dex, and number 19 in the Central Kalos Dex. Pidgeot carries over its normal and flying typing from Pidgey and Pidgeotto, making its strengths and weaknesses look like this. Pidgeot also carries over the same abilities as Pidgey and Pidgeotto of either Keen Eye or Tangled Feet, as well as the hidden ability Big Pecs. Other things that continue from Pidgey and Pidgeotto are it being part of the Flying Egg group, a 50-50 male-to-female ratio, and a medium-slow leveling rate. Pidgeot is 4'11" or 1.5 meters and weighs 87.1 pounds or 39.5 kilograms. Pidgeot's stat shows speed as its highest. Gen 6 even gave it a small boost in speed to make it just a little bit faster. Its EV yield is +3 in speed. Its Gen 1 special stat is 70. It has a capture rate of 45 or 11.9%, and you can still find one in the wild. In Kanto, Pidgeot can be found in a ton of locations of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I'm not even going to name them all. The only other region where you can find a wild Pidgeot is in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, where it can be found on Route 10 through an island scan, but only on Thursday. You might be lucky and find a shiny one, which I like Pidgeot's shiny form, but I like Pidgeotto's just a little bit more. Shiny Pidgeot has the same goldish coloring that Pidgey and Pidgeotto have, with yellow gold hair and tail feathers. I think I like the yellow and orange of Pidgeotto a little bit more, but I still like shiny Pidgeot's colors. Pidgeot continues on in its design of a bird of prey like an osprey or an eagle. Bulbapedia says the eye markings resemble the sun and sky gods of Egyptian mythology, Ra and Horus. If you break down its name, you get Pigeon, even though by this point it clearly doesn't even remotely resemble a pigeon at all, and Jet. So I've probably been pronouncing its name wrong all this time, and it's probably Pidgeot, not Pidgeot. But I don't care. Ash said it as Pidgeot in the show when he first saw it.
Oh, Pidgeot! Pidgeot, the bird Pokemon.
The Who's That Pokemon said Pidgeot.
It's Pidgeot!
So I don't care if they change it later, I'm sticking with my ways and you can't change me. But seriously, it's probably Pidgeot. It makes sense that it's Jet after looking at some of those dex entries. Like this one, this Pokemon flies at Mach 2 speed seeking prey. Its large talons are feared as wicked weapons. Nice. I'll get back to dex entries once I finish talking about the names. In Japanese, it's pretty much the same, Pidgeot or Pidgeot, probably Pidgeot, because you break it down, you get pigeon and jeto. In French, you get the word for coup and carnage. And in German, you get their word for pigeon and boss, because Pidgeot's a boss. Red, blue, and leaf green say, when hunting, it skims the surfaces of water at high speeds to pick off unwary prey such as Magikarp. Poor Magikarp. You can see this happen in the Magikarp jump game where it can be picked up by Pidgeotto, and that behavior I see continues when it evolves into Pidgeot. Magikarp is also mentioned in the Crystal entry. Its outstanding vision allows it to spot splashing Magikarp even while flying at 3,300 feet. The Hoenn region games say, this Pokemon has a dazzling plumage of beautifully glossy feathers. Many trainers are captivated by the striking beauty of the feathers on its head, compelling them to choose Pidgeot as their Pokemon. Well, it worked on me. Not sure because of the colors or because of the anime. I'll get to that in a minute. The Sinnoh and Unova entries say, by flapping its wings with all its might, Pidgeot can make a gust of wind capable of bending tall trees. Gold and Heart Gold say something similar. Its well-developed chest muscles make it strong enough to whip a gustly windstorm with just a few flaps. This is a cool Pokemon, right? Capable of learning Wing Attack, Air Slash, Hurricane, and other really great flying type attacks. Alright, I said we'd mention the anime appearances, so here we go. First up, Pidgeot debuts in the School of Hard Knocks, where Joe was describing the evolution Pidgey into Pidgeotto and into Pidgeot. So it's the first time we see Pidgeot, but it's just imagined. I want to say the first time we see a Pidgeot in action is Ash's Pidgeot. In Palette Party Panic, which I both love and hate this episode, Ash's Pidgeotto was used to protect a flock of Pidgey and Pidgeotto from a flock of Spearow, led by Fearow, who's holding a grudge against Ash, which I'll explain that in the Fearow video. Anyway, Pidgeotto gets badly beaten by Fearow, but Pidgeotto doesn't want to give up. It knows that Ash and his Pidgey are relying on it, and it won't let them down. That's just the kind of Pokemon that Pidgeotto is. It doesn't give up. It keeps fighting, it gets back up, and evolves into one of the greatest Gen 1 Pokemon, my opinion of course, and saves the day. Pidgeot, you are my hero! Ash rides on the back of Pidgeot and so powerful now. At the end of the episode, Ash releases his new powerful friend to protect this Pidgey and Pidgeotto, and promises to come back someday. Which he hasn't. Remember when I said I love and hate this episode? That's why. He gets this really awesome Pidgeot and then he releases it in that episode? No! Just no! In the first Pokemon movie, Corey has a Pidgeot named Pidgeotto, whatever, which he used to fly over to New Island. Like all Pokemon in the movie, minus Togepi, Pidgeot got captured and cloned by Mewtwo to battle against the originals. This cloned Pidgeot comes back in the Pokemon Special Mewtwo Returns, kind of a sequel to Mewtwo Strikes Back. When Ash was in Johto, he meets Falkner, the Violet City gym leader, who has a Pidgeot. He battles against it and fight Flyer with fire. Pidgeot uses a Whirlwind to knock out Pikachu, and it was up to Charizard to finish the match. This was a great battle because of how fast Falkner's Pidgeot was, but Ash and Charizard adapt to Falkner's strategy and defeats Pidgeot, giving Ash the Zephyr Badge, his first badge in Johto. In channeling the Battle Zone, Soledad uses a Pidgeot and Slowbro in a double battle against Maze Combuskin and Munchlax during the Kanto Pokemon Contest's Grand Festival. In Pokemon Origins, Blue uses his Pidgeot against Red in the final episode when the two battle in the Pokemon League. And a Pokemon Generations shows Blue using his Pidgeot against Bruno's Machamp and defeating it, allowing him to move on to Agatha's room. Next is manga appearances. In the Electric Tail Pikachu, Gary has a Pidgeot, which he used it along with his other Pokemon to battle against the giant Slowpoke in Ash vs. Gary. In the HGSS, Joe's Big Adventure, a Pidgeot appears as a silhouette in Chapter 5 belonging to Blue. The Gold and Silver Golden Boys, Falkner's Pidgeot debuted in Falkner the Birdkeeper's Challenge. It was defeated by Gold's Totodile. In the Pokemon Zensho manga, Shigeru uses a Pidgeot to attack Satoshi while flying on his Charizard. And in Pokemon Adventures, Blue is revealed to have a Pidgeot pretty early on in his team, debuting in A Tale of Ninetales. In the Yellow chapter, it delivered mail from Blue to Professor Oak and vice versa. It now resides in the Viridian Gym as one of the defenders in case challengers appear while he is away, with Blue's Rhydon taking its place in his active team. And later on, a Pidgeot appears in Pincer Me, I Must Be Dreaming. Video game appearances. In Red and Blue, as well as Fire Red and Leaf Green, your rival's Pidgeotto evolves into Pidgeot when you battle him in the Silph will be level 37. Later on, his Pidgeot will be level 47 when you battle him on Route 22 after getting your 8th badge, and of course he uses it in your battle to become champion of the Elite Four. His Pidgeot will be level 61 at this point. In Gold, Silver, and Crystal, Blue has a level 56 Pidgeot on his team when you battle him acting as the 8th gym leader of Kanto, or your 16th badge overall in those games. His Pidgeot is level 60 in the remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and when you have a rematch with him, his Pidgeot will be level 72. Also in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, if you have a rematch with Falkner, he will have a level 56 Pidgeot, which is kind of funny to think that the first gym leader you face and the last gym leader you face will both have a Pidgeot at some point in that game. Falkner also has a Pidgeot in the Black 2 and White 2 in the Johto Leaders Tournament, the Type Expert World Leaders Tournament, and the battle between legendary Pokemon. In Sun and Moon, after 20 consecutive battles in the Battle Tree, you might run into Blue, who has a decent selection of Pokemon to choose from on his 4-4 double battle with you, but Pidgeot is one of those choices. And my video wouldn't be complete if I didn't bring up Pidgeot's Mega Form. If you have a Pidgeotite, then your Pidgeot can go through a temporary evolution known as Mega Evolution. Mega Pidgeot's typing doesn't change, but its size sure does. Regular Pidgeot, like I said, was 4'11". Mega Pidgeot is 7'3" or 2.2 meters. It also now weighs 111.3 pounds or 50.5 kilograms. Mega Pidgeot's ability also changes to No Guard, which all moves used by or against this Pokemon cannot miss. It also allows Pokemon to be hit during the semi-invulnerable moves like Fly, Bounce, Dive, Shadow Force, Sky Drop, and Phantom Force. So that's a pretty nice ability. Mega Pidgeot stats show a slight boost in defense and special defense, but a pretty big boost to speed and almost doubling its special attack stat. Which, fun fact, its special attack is tied with Porygon Z and Drampa for the highest base special attack of all normal type Pokemon. It is also the only Pokemon with a base stat total of 579. Mega Pidgeot's shiny form features the same goldish color of regular Pidgeot. Its hair is yellow gold rather than yellow and red. And is it just me, or does it look like a Super Saiyan? Its tail feathers are yellow gold and dark blue rather than red and light blue. There was a special dex entry from the Let's Go game specifically for Mega Pidgeot. With its muscular strength now greatly increased, it can fly continuously for 2 weeks without resting. Another random fun fact about Mega Pidgeot is the crest on its head is sensitive to air currents, acting like a large antenna and stabilizing Mega Pidgeot's flight. Mega Pidgeot has also appeared in the anime, but only briefly. The only notable one in the main series is the Volcanion in the Mechanical Marvel movie. A Pidgeot Mega evolved under the control of the Mega Wave. Pidgeot was used to battle against Ash's Pikachu and Talonflame, and it was later freed from the control of the Mega Wave when the crystal was destroyed and it was able to escape. But it was also seen in the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire animated trailer battling a Mega Salamence, and it also appeared briefly in the ending segment of Mega Evolution Special 2. One more fun fact before I go. Pidgeot is depicted with red and yellow tail feathers in its official Gen 1 artwork, while the Gen 3 artwork depicts red only. This discrepancy is expressed in numerous ways in game sprites, look at Gen 2 for example, as well as the anime where Pidgeot has brown tail feathers. And that concludes my video on Pidgeot, but before I go, today's trivia question. How many different patterns of Vivillon are there? Come back next time to find out. Until then, this has been Professor Pokemon, and hope to teach you again soon.